This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, starting at verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, answered me and said, Write the vision, and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. And we are continuing to witness the downfall of Babylon the Great, aka America. And as we're seeing all these job cuts and financial woes come upon the citizens of America, man. So first and foremost, before I get started, I want to thank Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS who teach and rule well, who taught us the truth. Salutation, you brothers and sisters that are out there listening and learning, fighting this good fight of faith. And salutation to my fellow brethren that are pushing this word in all truth and sincerity. To you all, I want to say shalom. And hope, as always, that this lesson is edifying, comforting, uplifting, informative, exhorting to the elect out there. So I have a couple articles that I, kind of just want to skim through, and just reporting on the climate that, we're currently living in, here, for us brothers, and sisters that live here in America. But, excuse me, this affects, things around the whole world. Everything that's going on with the whole issues, war with Iran and the Strait of Hormuz. And, I just watched this morning on YouTube, brother Mike, I can't remember his channel right now. Oh, Rethinking the Dollar. He was going into now diesel is $7 a gallon, which means that the truckers have to pay. We always mention this, but the truckers have to pay more money to ship the goods. That means that whoever is receiving the goods, they got to pay more money. So if the store has to pay more money that's receiving the goods, then that means the consumer has to pay more money to buy the goods. As they say, as the saying goes, shit rolls downhill, And that's what I want to speak about. Some of the things I want to speak about is how, these devils, the elites are purposely, crashing this place, man. All these jobs are going away. Elon Musk, he spoke about a year or so ago, the UBI, Universal Basic Income, so people are losing jobs. The prices of everything is going through the roof. People aren't able to make ends meet. So these devils are going to come with the solution, which is it's going to start off with, I believe, speaking as a man, but through the spirit, the way everything's going, being, measuring the time diligently in itself and seeing what these devils are up to, right? And not being ignorant of Satan's devices, right? The people are going to beg for a solution. So it might start off with, they just send it to your phone. And you have to get, a digital ID or, something to that effect, because these devils work in gradualism, But eventually, it's going to lead to that MO to the TB, man. That mark of the beast, that RFID C-hip, man. To be implanted under your skin, because what a coincidence. There's no such thing as coincidence, that Elon Musk, the CEO or owner or whatever of Neuralink, who are putting brain C-hips in people, he's the one speaking about universal basic income. So they're linking people to the system, and they're there's these different banks, Visa, MasterCard, I had read a couple of years or so ago, that are, you know, investing in these different technologies, man. Digital uh, assets, so to speak. You know. So let's get a couple of these articles, get a couple of scriptures, and that'll be the lesson. So the first one is Volkswagen CEO set to announce 50,000 job cuts. So imagine working at a Volkswagen plant 20, 25, 30 years, and you just get laid off. Not only do you get laid off, but you get laid off in the worst time to be laid off, when everybody's looking for jobs. And that's all the miseries that are continuing to come upon these citizens. Why? Because they walked in great pride, man. Matter of fact, let's get it. I feel like we read this scripture all the time, but it's so fitting. 2nd Ezra 8:50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world. Why? Because they have walked in great pride, man. And this place, America, Babylon the Great, is indeed one of the proudest nation. These people out here are just, they act like their shit don't stink at all, man. So it says Europe's industrial heartland is unraveling at an alarming pace, according to a report from Zero Hedge. The continent's once dominant automotive, sector is being systematically eroded by crushing energy costs. So this is in Europe. Oh, okay. I thought it was actually over here, but it just shows that these Edomites as a whole are falling, man. It says relentless regulatory burdens and a surge of low-cost Chinese electric vehicles. Germany, along the engine of European manufacturing, now stands at the center of this accelerated collapse. Volkswagen Group, Germany's largest company by revenue, is preparing to unveil the most sweeping restructuring in its history. CEO Oliver Bloom has warned workers that the coming weeks will prove decisive. The next weeks will be crucial. Everyone must pull together, Bloom told Bild am Sonntag. We have drawn up the largest transformation plan in the history of the Volkswagen Group. Says next week's meeting with employees and union representatives are expected to outline plans for approximately 50,000 job cuts. Bloom described the broader landscape in stark terms. Yeah, man. So over there in these other Edomite nations, they're suffering as well. All praise to Yahawashi, Yahawashi. Let's see what's going on here in Babylon. So this is from Fast Company. It was published, what's today? Yeah, today, August 24th. And it says, Tech Layoffs, August 26th, update, 2026, excuse me. Apple, TikTok, LinkedIn, Netflix joined the list of companies slashing jobs. High-profile tech employers continue to cut workers this summer, with totals for 2026 already surpassing all of 2025. Here's the latest. August is quickly coming to a close, but it appears to be ending the way it began, with mass layoffs at some of the biggest tech companies on the planet. Here's the latest roundup of job cuts from some of the most prominent tech players in the industry. It says Apple slashes positions on Siri and Vision Pro teams. Of all the tech layoffs this month so far, the recent job cuts at Apple seem to have grabbed the most headlines. This is for a couple of reasons. First, Apple rarely announces mass layoffs, so any round of job cuts from iPhone maker tends to be widely reported. Second, the cuts affect Apple's Siri and Vision Pro teams, two product areas in which the company has seen significant struggles. Apple cuts were first reported by Apple Insider last week, which said the company was laying off more than 60 employees from Vision Pro team. The Apple Vision Pro, when it was released in 2025, was Apple's first major new product launch in nearly a decade, but the uh, augmented reality headset was a flop, failing to catch on with customers. It says in total, around 200 employees are being let go. So TikTok the company is cutting 250 jobs. Netflix, let me see if we got a number. So I don't have to read through all this. Let's see. Games on demand. So it's closing studios, game studios, and there's, when you look, you brothers and you few sisters that play video games, it's just like when you watch a movie. You beat the video game, like, back in the day when you play Mario or Sonic, what have you, you beat the game, they roll the credits. So there's a lot of people involved in the making of the game. You got, the people that, the character development, the sound people, the people that make the levels, the people that design how the controls work, the the like the atmosphere and everything. It's a lot that goes into it. So that's a lot of people that are losing jobs in this Netflix thing, man. It says LinkedIn cuts research and development jobs. So that's a lot going on. So it says the job cuts figure is nearly 5,000 more than all of 2025's tech job cuts combined, and August isn't even over yet. See, it says, yeah, I mean, hey, these prophecies are coming to pass, man. This is from Democracy Now! It says over 3,000 workers laid off as Tyson Foods closes meat packing plants. So 3,000 workers are set to be let go. It says Tyson Foods, the largest meatpacking and processing company in the U.S., has shuttered two of its facilities in Illinois and Utah, laying off more than 3,000 workers. The company said in a release earlier this month it'll be closing its Jocelyn, Illinois, and Eagle Mountain, Utah facilities, claiming one of the most historic cattle shortages the country has ever experienced as the reason for the move. About 2,500 Tyson employees were impacted in Illinois alone due to the sudden closure of the plant. Workers and supporters held a rally in Jocelyn Friday in protest of the mass layoffs. They're demanding the facility be reopened, as well as 6 months of full compensation and benefits for workers who've been left jobless. This comes as Tyson Foods CEO and President Donnie King made over $34 million in 2025. Good Lord. According to the Secretaries and Exchange Commission. These people don't give a shit about these regular, everyday workers, man. They can care less. Let's get another scripture. Let's get Isaiah 19:15. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt which the head or tail, branch or rush may do, man. So they're slashing these jobs at the same time when the prices of everything is continuing to go up. This is from End Time Headlines. It says Americans better get ready to feel the pain in their electric bills as the artificial intelligence boom expands, man. And already, because you already know it's got to be somebody got to front the bill, right? If they're putting up all this AI shit and it's using all this electricity, the companies ain't gonna pay for it. The devil always figures out a way to screw over, people or somebody else, you know, and that's what these people that have been so comfortable in Babylon are beginning to see that the government really doesn't give a fuck about them, man. Americans are already feeling the hidden costs of the artificial intelligence boom. In one place they cannot escape their monthly electric bills. According to a report from Fox News, new research from the Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas shows that the rapid expansion of AI data centers has already driven wholesale electricity prices 2% to 6% higher across the nation, with even sharper jumps in regions where these power-hungry facilities are clustered. It says the study models what happens in data centers if data center demand keeps surging through 2028. In the researchers' preferred middle-range scenario, the cost of generating electricity could climb 20% to 30% higher than it would have been without the new facilities, man. So there you go, man. It's just continuing to get worse and worse. This is from the New York Post, published a couple days ago. It says struggling Americans are turning to trendy, risky, buy now, pay later loans to afford groceries and gas. Right? So the people in America, the curses are starting to fall upon them, man. Especially these damn Edomites, man. This is Haggai 1 and 6. Ye have sown much, right? Sown, work, and bring in little, right? People working all day, working 2, 3, sometimes 4 if they can figure out a little side gig or whatever, jobs, and still bringing in a little. It says ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but ye are not warm. There is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put into a bag with holes. Right? Everybody, Jake especially always talking about getting the bag, right? But it's a bag full of holes because before you even get the bag, you get your check. All these bill companies got their goddamn handout. You got to pay your rent, you got to pay your mortgage, you got to pay your car note, got to pay your car insurance, got to pay for gas, got to pay for groceries. If you got to work all the time and you got a little one, now you got to pay for daycare. It's just pay all day long, and these people can't get ahead. And so now they're turning over to these different apps or what have you, to getting loans so they could just to survive, So Babylon's going going out bad, man. All praise the Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, man. Let's get the let's see. Yeah, I don't want to make this too long. Let's get this. Ecclesiastes 12, and I'll start at 3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, right? We always bring this out. Word economy goes into house management. So the keepers of the house are the economists. In the day when they shall tremble, right? All these different articles that we're reading, these are different economists and people that are linked with these different economists bringing these articles out and this information out. And they're worried. It says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, right? Jobs, fewer and fewer jobs. And those that look out the windows be darkened, representing people not seeing a future here, right? Because there is no future here. Babylon's through. It's going down the toilet, and eventually everybody's going to realize that. A lot of people are still in a strong delusion, but a lot of people, some people, I'll say, are starting to realize that this place is not going to bounce back. A lot of people are hopeful, but as the scriptures say, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, right? Fourth verse, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, less and less jobs, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, right? Waking up early to try to find work, right? When the birds are chirping early in the morning, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. And we always bring that out. The music is absolutely trash. You know, so this place is through, man. You know, the Lord is dismantling Babylon, man. Piece by piece, and these economic woes are gonna, take a major toll on Babylon, man. You know, with no jobs, the cost of living going up. Then, the whole thing, like I mentioned earlier, with Iran and the Strait of Hormuz, and these different frictions that these different countries are having with each other, right? And Trump, pretty much cussing out the other countries within NATO, and basically Esau's whole kingdom is being divided. A kingdom divided against itself shall not stand. So we're in real time witnessing the downfall of our enemy, man. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I just want to report on this. Yeah, Babylon. They shall how's it go? They shall not. The mirth of the land is gone. They shall not drink a strong drink with a song. Roughly paraphrasing. These people are suffering, man. I see it every day when I go to work, man. People's faces, people's conversations. People are on edge. Because they see that something it's not right, and they can't get ahead no matter how hard they try. People are, basically living on credit cards, man. Living on these buy now, pay later loans and shit, just to get groceries and gas, man. I see often people's cards being declined, or they got to call over a worker and say, oh, I don't know what's wrong with my card. And it's like, nigga, you ain't got no money. And it'll be Edomites, man. People stealing, So many great miseries are coming to a city near you. Call Halal Yumla, Abanawa, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of GMS who teach and rule well, who taught me this truth. Salutation, you brothers and sisters that are out there listening and learning. Fighting good fight of faith. Keep fighting, keep striving, keep pushing. We're almost out of this bitch. And salutation to my fellow brethren that are pushing this word in all truth and sincerity. To you all, I want to say shalom, Ababa Ball, and Kwam Yasharala. Hey, shalom. To the next one.